But he didn't do that.
کاوش مدیا.
And Britain didn't do that either. And as a consequence, both our countries and other countries ended up scrambling and panicking to get people out after the government in Kabul fell. It's extraordinary. All of this could have been done months ago without any of the, not only the dangers and the difficulties, but also the humiliation, because it is a humiliation. It's tragic that during this operation, the United States lost 13 of their service people killed in a suicide bomb attack. That didn't need to happen. That could have been prevented. It could have been avoided by a longer term, more considered evacuation while we still had troops in place on the ground in Afghanistan. And, the imagery we've seen is quite extraordinary of the bomb attack, of rocket attacks on the airport as we're trying to get out. So what you've seen is America running away under fire. I think the future influence over Afghanistan and the region will come predominantly from China. It will also be from Pakistan, to an extent from Iran, and from Russia. NATO has been shown as basically a paper tiger. No country was prepared to stay in a proposed non-US coalition in Afghanistan. All NATO countries were asked, none was willing to stay without the US. And that shows, to me at least, NATO is the US. The rest of it is window dressing, and many previous US presidents have made the same point several times. And so, NATO has been deeply humiliated now, and it needs to regain its credibility. Now, their concerns now under President Biden will be reinforced. There will be deep worry in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, in Jordan, in many other countries across the Middle East that their ally, their principal ally, who they've always depended upon, is even less dependable now than it was under President Obama. And that will cause major problems. It may actually strengthen the relationship between Israel and the Arab states, which is a good thing, but it's at a huge, huge cost. Iran will be emboldened. Iran has, as everyone here knows, Iran has been very, very aggressive across the region for many years, will continue that, and will know that they're not going to be confronted anymore by the US, and they can pretty much do as they like. They will use the leverage that the increased leverage they now have in relation to the nuclear project, and they will continue to attempt to surround Israel and to build up bases of operations from which they can attack Israel, knowing that the US really is probably not going to do very much about it. And secondly, I think there had been hopes. There've been widespread protests in Iran in recent months, and there had been some hope of a potential uprising in Iran against the regime and somehow bring it down. I don't know quite how realistic that was or possible it was. Of course, anything is possible. But now, of course, those people who were thinking about that would expect that if they did bring the regime down, they would have US support. But now they know they won't have US support.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند.